What is up, guys? So today I'm going to be making these interesting looking push rods for the front suspension of my Mustang. The reason there's a big gaping hole in here is because there is an axle that needs to go through here. So this is going to go on the lower control arm over here, and this will push on a cantilever arm over here, and axle will go in here and it'll move up and down. So what I've got to make this out of is I've got some 1¼ square tube for these bits, and then I have some 1¼ round tube that I'm going to bend in a, I think it's going to end up being a 90-degree arc using a small tubing bender that I've got, and I'll bend those, and then I'll cut everything, and then I'll end up TIG welding it together. So let's get started on the process of making these things. Alright, so we got this in the bender, running out there. This is the 1¼ round tube. So now I'm just going to bend a 90-degree angle on this, and I have a feeling this is going to take a while, so I will just get back to you guys once I have my bend done. Catch you in a sec. Alright, so trying to bend this whole length of material just for that, not my brightest idea, because it got stuck in the bender. So I had to tear the whole bender apart in order to get this thing out. I had to pull the die out. I had to pull everything apart. So I did a little measurement, and if I cut my lengths to 18 inches, that'll give me enough material to get the bend that I need. So I'm going to chop this off, chop 3 pieces of 18 inches, and do that instead, just because I don't want to take that thing apart again. Let's go. I wasn't initially going to show you guys this process because it's painful, but then I remembered this is the internet. You guys like to see pain. So here goes a time lapse. Ta-da! One bend. 2 more to go. Yeehaw. I won't make you guys watch those ones though. So, back to it. Alright, so now what I need to do is chop this excess material off so that I have just the one little curve part that I need. So in order to do that, what I did, get this line back up here, is I lined this point and this point up with, just kind of visually lined it up with the edge of the tubing, so that way I have the most clearance. I know I have all the clearance I need, and then I just put a dot there and there, and then took my ruler and used this and just connected the dots. So now we'll take this, clamp it to the table, I'll get the angle grinder out and chop, chop. We'll have some parts. And then I can just transfer this over to these two and this guy. So, onto the grinder time. Alright, so next step is to take this hypodermic needle shaped piece of 1¼ inch steel square tube and cut it into 4 6-inch sections, which is perfect because I only have 21 inches or 25 inches to play with. So the reason I'm cutting these so long, because if you look here, this is only about 4 inches long, but I don't know exactly how these are going to sit yet, so I need to have some extra material. That way I don't end up coming up short and having to remake these because they're too short. So it's always better to cut more material off later than have to add more material later. So let's go get these cut. You know what, this wouldn't be one of my projects if there wasn't some machining involved, or overthinking. So what I'm machining are little caps for the quarter tube I cut, just to cap it off and make it look nice. Now the reason I'm machining it, as you'll see, they'll slip inside, but they're gonna have a little lip so they'll get caught and not fall all the way through. It'll make it easier to weld and this and that. Alright, so I got my little parts machined out, punched them into here. So now I've got my caps, and now I'm going to TIG weld all the way around. You know what? I might just have to finish this off with a MIG gun, but I'm happy with where it's at right now. So, tell you what, I'm gonna weld the other one up off camera and finish this one up off camera. And I'll get back to you guys once these are done. Hey, so we are up at my grandpa's house where I have the Mustang, and I'm going to put one of these push rod arms in so that we can get a rough idea of how they're going to look. I know in the last clip I said I was going to MIG weld some of these, or some parts of these. Never fear, I did TIG weld these 100%, and I'm pretty happy with how they turned out actually. So I'm going to pull apart this control arm, and I'm going to stick this in there. It goes upright like this, so this taper will fit through the upper control arm, which I will be modifying to have more angle. So let's get these in here. There we go. Let's bring you guys down here. Alright, so now I've got this in. So it's gonna go kind of like that. It's kind of hard to see, but this gives it the clearance it needs to move in there. It's going to be right about roughly that angle. So this turned out pretty well. I guess I will see you guys what I have next. Actually, next coming up should be cantilever arms. Cantilever arms and shock mounts. So the next video, this thing should become a complete rolling chassis with suspension. So we'll catch you guys later. Keep watching.